Patria Lauraya. So bago kita magpuon, gusto yung press con, first of all, thank you so much. Sumabal doon sa Indogabo sa pag-attendir, kasi itong presence, every time na UNC nag-invite, dahil ako napapasupog sa kuyang presidente. Sa tuyang guest ko niya na aga, iyo si Dr. Faye Leia Patria Lauraya. Siya ang magiging actually fourth president kang UNC. Si ma'am, kabado ta. Kasi during the time, siya sarong working student, at the same time, siya sarong radio broadcaster naman sa probinsya kang Albay. Ma'am, I would like to introduce to you ang members kang print and broadcast media kang Naga City and Camarines Sur. Siguro tanta si ma'am ng opening statement niya sa tuyang press con niya na aga. Ma'am?
Mic test. Good morning, everybody. It is a pleasure to see you all here, and I would like to personally welcome you to the University of Nueva Caceres. As Sir Joel had stated, I was part of your family in the media, and therefore I truly believe that any endeavor, in order to be successful, we always have to have a close partnership with the media, especially now that the young people are so conscious and they're all over the social media network, and your own radio programs and TV programs are live on the social media. We could not do without a very strong partnership with your profession and your networks. So I'd like also to personally welcome you on the investiture on March 7. I believe that the invitations have already been sent, and I would like to personally invite you to be there. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. Kadaklan ma'am sa tuyang guest niya na aga are the chief executives of the respective radio stations. So po natin po ang press con. Kali pa po siya sa Legazpi City. Siya po ang Vice President for Programming kang DCGB, and dito po yung kay Legazpi si Mr. Henry Maceda.
Ako pala nang inot na mahapot. Pag-una ako. Anyway. Good morning po, Dr. Faye, Madam.
Good morning, Henry.
You were a two-termer president of Bicol University.
Yes.
And I was there. I am a witness of your performance in Bicol University. Then you went to CHED after Bicol University. May I know the reasons or the reasons why you accept this new challenge as a president of University of Nueva Caceres?
That's really the question, Henry. When I was invited to be the president of the University of Nueva Caceres, it took me a long time, I think more than a year, to decide whether I will be coming. Precisely because I was coming from the biggest university in Bicol, and I've been president already. Will I still be president? But when Fred Ayala, the current president of the University of Nueva Caceres then, showed me the vision of the founding father of this institution and the twin vision of Ayala education for UNC and for the Bicolanos, I was able to relate to that. And specifically, they are aiming for affordable quality education at par with universities in Manila, regarded as the center of quality learning, making those choices for degrees and programs towards compelling careers and employability was their own vision. And I said, if I accept that, I could represent the continuity of that vision and provide bigger choices to our Bicolano youth. Another is, I've never been in the private sector. I have been 38 years in government service, and I celebrated my 60th birthday last year. And so retiring from government at 60 and looking at still beautiful women, this is the month of women, and we see the likes of the DepEd Secretary Briones, beyond 70 is still serving actively in government service. I thought that 60 was old, but then I think 60 is just the beginning of creativity. And so I accepted the position because I believe that life begins at 60. And what better way to begin it at the University of Nueva Caceres?
Last na lang po, follow-up, Madam. You mentioned the word quality education, and that was your long-term plans na na-implemented po sa Bicol University. Does it necessarily mean na ang UNC now is a competitor of Bicol University, your former school?
I think, Henry, the word that I would like to advocate in going over to the private sector is the strong compatibility, the strong compatibility and not competition between the private and higher education institution. There are a lot of knowledge areas that are not presently available in the region. There are niche areas where public universities like Bicol University, with a backup of government support, can go into. Investment areas, high investment areas, education, while the private sector can go towards degree programs that are needed by the region's industry that will provide them for compelling careers after graduation. So compatibility and not competition, a harmonious relationship, and with my experience of running a public government institution, I will be now in a better position to understand how they work, and coming over now to the private sector, I would be able to capitalize on this knowledge and move forward.
Thank you po.
Thank you, Henry.
Thank you,
And
Henry.
I would like to acknowledge that in my journey to where I am now today, it's the network of DCGB that provided me the first job as a working student. So for the knowledge of everybody, I was a DJ. I was handling a program, Tourism on the Air. And we had knowledge program between Monday to Friday, and we have a tourism quiz show on the weekend. So I think that program is still as relevant today as it was in the 70s. And it was not work, but it was exciting. But I simply would like to acknowledge DCGB for spotting the potential in me that I can be what I can be at that period in time. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you, Henry.
It reminds me, gusto ko na po i-acknowledge ang presence kang GMA7, kang ABS-CBN, kang IMJ, ang presence po ni General Manager Moody Aramero, kang Bicol Media Network Group, si Station Manager Hilbas Mayon Jr., kang BBS TWLV, yan naman po si Grace Rifama Simando, kang Philippine Broadcasting Network, si Dondon Amador, Station Manager kang PBN and the WOK Naga, si Joe De Los Santos kang Sol Broadcasting, si Manager Donis Aguilar of DCRJ, si Rene and Diego kang MBC, Manila Broadcasting Corporation, Love Radio, Brigada FM, through the representation of Joel Jeremias. So, kang Bombo Radio, they will be coming, as well as si Station Manager Chris Bersabe, sa pong true-blooded UNCian, and kadaklan po yung mga true-blooded UNCians. So, next po mahaputing question, yun po si Station Manager Grace Simando kang Philippine Broadcasting Service.
Thank you, Sir Joel. Good morning, Ma'am Faye.
Good morning.
I am not as tall as you are. Welcome to Camarines Sur, ma'am. But the last time we were here, we also had a press con with the president, then President Ayala. And I remember he launched a contest. Sir Joel, if I may remind you po, no, what happened to the contest po, yung nagbigay kami ng, ng entry para sa pangalan ng building na itatayo ng UNC. Di ba nagbigay ko ng entry and I was hoping na yung entry ko ang mapili. Di ba? Anong nangyari doon, Sir Joel?
It's a check of grace. Kasi ibang, anyway, rest assured this afternoon you will have your answer.
Alright, oo. Anyway, ma'am, we would like to know, kasi si Sir Joel, he also had so many plans then for UNC. Diba? Under your term, because your term is just starting, we would also want to know what are your priority plans for or innovations for UNC for better service in the academe. Thank you, ma'am.
We would like to, under my leadership, we would like to bring the University of Nueva Caceres not only to be remembered in history as the first university of Bicol, but to be the foremost university in Bicol. So my vision is from first to number one. And how do we bring the University of Nueva Caceres to number one? First, we would like to embrace excellence in our curricular offerings. As you all know, the 2018 performance in the licensure examination in many areas of UNC, if not first, number two in terms of the performance of the learning outcomes. Specifically, our performance in mechanical engineering is 94%, the first and the highest among Bicol universities. Our electronics and communication engineering is 83%. Electrical engineering, 93% in ECE, 83% in electrical engineering, and 100% in architecture. This despite that the University of Nueva Caceres is a free admission system. It means to say that our vision towards UNC as a nurturing university is so much a factor of the teacher factor that nurtures the students once they are here in UNC. I'd like all to remember that UNC's tagline is nurturing education for a better tomorrow for all. Operational excellence, taking care that all the facilities that are geared towards knowledge required by our students to support the jobs of the future are ready now. We are embarking on a master development plan while knowing that the universities of the future will no longer be a fixed space. But in the short term, we are expanding and we wish to expand our enrollment, double the enrollment in the next 5 years, and we would require spaces, laboratory, and faculty for that. We also would like to attack excellence in terms of institutional and fiscal stability, making sure that we have the funding in order to finance quality education as promised by the University of Nueva Caceres. In moving forward to be number one, we have the backup support of Ayala Education, and as I have said earlier, the passion and vision of the founding fathers of this institution, which is an affordable but quality education.
Thank you, ma'am. Ito ko po i-acknowledge ang presence ni Station Manager Rita Labano ng Bombo Radio and Christine Atole. And also with Jason Yola of Bicol Mail. So, next po, mga hapot, po si Station Manager Hill Basmayor Jr. Sabi pong true-blooded DONCian. Intel niyo pong pamilya, mga aki. I hope makuha po pa. Ano po sa UNC ko yan.
Thank you. Dahil man ako nag-itaas kamot. Pero baga para hiling ako ni Padin Joel. I call him Padin Joel because we shared many years of broadcast when I was with Banal Broadcasting. Anyway, kung ako estudyante, two things. Number one, matiterrorize ako kay ma'am. Maray siya magtaram eh. Number two, I will be attending my classes all the time. Magayon ng teacher, bright pa. Okay. But anyway, I spent a good number of years studying in this institution. And yesterday I had a short conference and they were talking about tuition fees. Ma'am, is it true that our tuition fees here, comparatively speaking, is at par or much higher than what other schools are offering locally? Ano ang tuition fees na ginaw? Mas halangkaw o pareho lang? If we compare our tuition fees sa Ateneo de Naga.
I would say that the comparison for tuition is not by institution,
Okay.
but in terms of the quality of education that we offer. In terms of the quality of education that UNC offers, it is very, very much lower than the other institutions. As I have mentioned earlier, why will you pay $75,000 when you can have a 94% passing licensure examination at half that cost? Therefore, the tuition of UNC almost totally is plowed back to support, as you have seen, we are constructing a 4-story building that will house the College of Architecture, our architecture program, as well as our College of Law. And so answering those questions on whether we are high or low, I would say that our tuition is an affordable level given the quality that we offer.
Actually, bago ko man po yung question, nadagong ko lang siguro lang Ms. Odma. But I don't have further questions, just to let you know that we will support you. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
I would like to acknowledge the presence kasatuyang chairman kang KBP, si Chairman Joel Echalose. Siya at the same time, siya po kang Radyo Aguila. Thank you, Chairman, for coming. So, next question. Of course, Alipos Station Manager kang DWRJ, si Dondon Aguilar. Dondon is candidate for Municipal Council of Calabanga. Siguro pwede ka na magkampanya digdi.
Thank you very much po, Sir Joel. Good morning, ma'am. Welcome here sa Camarines Sur po. Ma'am, since na you've been in the government for 36 years, if I'm not mistaken, what are the adjustments that you're doing since na private naman po ngayon yung tatrabahuhan mo po? Kasi yun sa government po, mag-alam naman natin yung government
Yes.
ay very... How about the private sector po?
Salamat sa pag-abot niyan. Question na iyan. The biggest adjustment, what was your first name again?
Adonis po.
Adonis. The biggest adjustment from public to private, when I was running a public university, our mandate is full utilization of funding.
Yes po.
And my strategy to draw funding to the university is to be able to have Congress and Senate recognize the performance and relevance of the programs that we pursue. In private sector, our revenues and sources of funding is totally 100% dependent on tuition fees alone. And that means that we have to inform, convince, and make known the achievements of the university in order for the parents, the stakeholders, our alumni, and benefactors to continue to support our march and effort towards offering quality education. So that in itself are two very divergent difference. A running of a public higher education institution, in particular, the universal access to tuition fee had been passed.
Yes.
And while when I was president, we were already offering a very low tuition fee at 5,000 pesos per semester, now it's totally free. In the private sector, we have to adjust tuition in accordance with inflation and in our desire to continuously to increase the salaries and compensation in order to attract and maintain the quality of teachers that we would like to maintain in the University of Nueva Caceres. So those are two challenging scenarios. Nevertheless, I'd like to say that the Philippine higher education landscape is still privately dominated. 52% of the total population in higher education, 52% of the students are still in private. And so, as I said, I could very well relate to the vision of the founders of this institution of how we could keep operations low cost but high impact, with emphasis on creating more access, knowing that we have the quality programs that could be a stepping stone for compelling careers of these students in the future.
Don Amador of Station Manager PBN NDWHK, Naga.
Hello ma'am, good morning. Opo. Sabi mo kasi bago ma'am na hali ka na sa mas dakulang university, which was with Bicol University. And naglipat ka po digdi sa UNC. And nag-retire ka na at 60 years old. Ano po ang sa imo pang pinagpaplano mo niyan? Ano po ang dream mo sa paglaog mo po, pag-accept mo sa challenge na ni to be the 4th president of UNC? And since halos na-achieve mo na dati, kung ano po si mga nagibo mo sa BU, although nga ni hariyo man ang BU sa Naga, pero kami kay ito naaraman mi kung ano ang igwa ang Bicol University. Sa paglaog mo po dito sa UNC, ano ang big set mong challenge or goal para sa sadino mo?
I truly believe that the platform of government is still the biggest avenue to create change. But in order to create change and transformation, you have to have a working knowledge of the different factors that are necessary to draw policy. And so I think the Lord has placed me in this position at the moment, coming from government and knowing how public universities work, and now accepting the responsibility to run a private university. Now I have a clear perspective of what the challenges of these two very vital sector that comprises higher education in the country. And so, Dodong, if you ask me, it's not only the presidency of the University of Nueva Caceres that I am accepting when I accepted this position, but I also would like to activate myself, actively engage in the bigger organization which we call the Bicol Foundation for Higher Education. This is the organization of the 155 higher education institutions in Bicol, and the subgroup of the Bicol Private Associations, Bicol Association of Private Colleges and Universities, to advocate for policy that will be able to support the needs and aspirations of private education. Because as I've said, there is equal protection of the law under the Constitution, protection of both public and private. And I hope that knowing the needs and perspectives of private higher education institutions, together with the organizations that I have mentioned, we will be able to advocate for policies that would be heard by people in Congress, our friends in Senate, in order to formulate the necessary policy to protect both public and private education with the ultimate goal of creating opportunities to contribute towards citizenship building.
Station Manager of Bombo Radio, Ms. Rita Labanon.
Good morning po, Madam. Paano po nasi-share to kan UNC since may advancement na po kita sa technology na safe ang mga estudyante sa cyberbullying as in iba pa pong danger kan digital era?
Thank you. That is a very important factor. I think we have read a lot of horror stories where children are able to access information at the internet where at that age they should not have access to. In the University of Nueva Caceres, we are now working towards a Wi-Fi enabled institution where we will be able to support the need for our students to go and access knowledge online. However, that has to be coupled with a social media policy, particularly identifying the do's and don'ts. And what is important is we will be able to provide them the technology to access what is relevant towards further learning in support of the different discipline degree programs that they are working on.
Olive Pado of TWOK.
Good morning, ma'am. Ang hapot ko po mo, ano po ang gigibuhon mo sa mga fraternities and sororities igdi po sa UNC?
The university has a policy of recognizing legitimate organizations, and part of the criteria for accrediting this organization are their objectives and the rules and policies that each organization employ, particularly on how they will nurture and forward the objective of the co-curricular support to their curricular programs. I believe that all learnings is not happening in the classroom. That's why we have curricular and co-curricular activities to balance the opportunities that the student have to learn from actual realities of life. In order to do this, organizations are essential and need to be encouraged and supported. But we will not accredit and we will not allow organizations that will not be supporting the values of UNC of a nurturing university.
The Station Manager of Energy FM, a true-blooded UNCian also. Station Manager Chris Bersabe.
Good morning, ma'am. Yeah, you mentioned about working as a DJ or part of the media industry in one of your answers. Any possibility now for UNC venturing into the same curriculum, opening up a media studies department?
We are currently developing the master development plan of the university, and we will look into the possibility. What is important is there a need for such a discipline? As I said, we would not want to compete with other universities who are already adequately and already providing quality opportunities for our students to pursue such. But if we believe that there is a niche, there is a gap that UNC can fulfill, then we will factor it in our plans. But for the meantime, we have the Bachelor of Education, major in English, major in Filipino, and I hope we also have the Bachelor of Science in Biology. And I'd like to cite, for instance, one student that said, Madam, I'd like to be a journalist, but I have taken the STEM track in my senior year, and what is the possibility of a science student pursuing a journalistic career? And I said that we need people in the media who could write about science. We need people in the media who could adequately cover issues about the environment. And therefore, there's no stopping a person who has pursued a Bachelor of Science in Biology in moving towards journalism. I think they are compatible disciplines.
From Bombo, Radyo Naga, Tintin Atole.
Hi ma'am, good morning. Last week po, nagpalabas ng memo yung DepEd regarding sa graduation ceremony, but then binawi elementary level. But about yung sa junior high school, parang hindi na magkakaroon. Ano yung plano ng UNC as private school naman po kayo? Are you willing to sumunod dun sa memorandum ng DepEd? And yung reactions din of course ng mga parents?
There are different terminologies that apply to these different levels. So we already have the specific plans on what are the different ceremonies that will be applicable to our elementary, to our junior high school, as well as to our senior high school. And shortly, our marketing department will be announcing when these ceremonies will be held. What is important is we recognize the achievements and the attainment of these different levels of education and recognition of the efforts of the students and the efforts of the parents. It's not whether we call them graduation or moving on ceremony, but a recognition of what they have achieved. That is most important.
From Brigada FM, Joel Remeas. The birthday boy.
Thank you very much po. Good morning po. Ma'am, sa ano po yung paano ang implementasyon ta kan anti-bullying program kang kang gobyerno taning ma-share to ta ng mga akita dito sa UNC de maka yung sa anti-bullying para po ma-share to tayo yung mga estudyante ta dito sa UNC ada maka-experience ning siring kayan araw kan nangyayari sa ibang eskwelahan. Thank you very much po.
Thank you very much for that question. That is a very relevant question. As you know, the times now are different when we were young. I'd like to cite, kaito baga uso ang baransagan. Parang iyan kan pagdakula ta kaito. But now there's a different perspective, and I'd like to assure everyone that the University of Nueva Caceres has the necessary policy and protection that is aligned with the anti-bullying law. Our guidance, our university guidance director and the different guidance counselors are also on top in terms of the implementation and the dissemination of knowledge, again, of what is not and what is allowable in terms of behavior.
From Bicol Mail, Danny Aureus.
Madam President, Happy Valentine.
Red and gray team.
Yes, ma'am. My question about press freedom. And UNC, ano po, what is the assurance of your leadership na an school publication independent, no censorship, no suppression?
I think action speaks louder than words. I could proudly say and present to you the quality of the publications that the University of Nueva Caceres has produced. And the record shows that these publications have been recipients of multiple awards, not only in Camarines Sur, but in the region. We know very well of the freedom that these students must exercise and the role of the advisor in terms of guidance, but not curtailing the freedom that they are given in terms of the liberty to explore on areas that they would like to publish. So those are policies, just like bullying, they are in place and they are fully supported.
Good morning, ma'am. Roy San Ramon, KM. Libre na po ang edukasyon sa college, sa public. Paano to po paano kita magkakaigwa ng kompetisyon sa public? May kahali ka po sa public dati. Sa private. Dahil baka nagtutubod po ka muna na enrollee sa private, kunya na may libreng edukasyon na. Thank you.
Iyo po. Totoo po iyan na ang pagdeklarar na libre ang tuition free sa dakul na halos gabos na public na universities and colleges, including community college, is a difficult situation for private institutions. But as I have said, not everybody can be accommodated in public universities. And I would like also to say that the law provides private universities can accept and provide free tuition for those who cannot be accommodated in the public universities. In fact, we had 254 students that had been fully financed by the same law as in the public. Kaya sana po sa Paagikan Media, I will be able to reach out to all of those potential beneficiaries of the TES program na dai po sinda magsurusuan sa public. They also have the chance and seats available sa private universities such as the University of Nueva Caceres. So now we are in coordinating with the DSWD to be able to know more on how we could reach out and create access to students that would be potential beneficiaries of this voucher from government. So hopefully, as I said, inahagad ko po ang tabang nindo na impormaran ta ang publiko na porke libre, hindi po siya lahat libre na libre lang sa public universities. Meron din po silang tsansa na pumunta sa private universities kagaya po ng UNC and avail of the privileges in the law under the universal access to free tuition. And as I have said, as of now, we have 254 beneficiaries, free totally. And kung may sobra pa po, itong sobra sa subsidy kang government, itatao po ito sa aki bilang allowance. So iyan po ang maray na news. That's the good news that I hope media can help me disseminate. Again, we are working on quality. Let us create as much opportunity for Bicolanos to access that quality of nurturing education in UNC.
Thank you, Roy, of KMFM. Now from Manila Bulletin, Mr. Frank Quiñones.
Good morning, Madam. Today is Women's Month, and in fact, on Friday, we're having former Chief Justice Serino as our guest in Iriga, as well as at the UNC later in the afternoon. You yourself are paragon of the contemporary woman, driven, dynamic, dreamer, perhaps visionary. What do you think, in your opinion, should the role of Bicolana, Filipina women in these trying times? I mean, should we take a stand, for instance, should women, for instance, take a stand on the contemporary political scene in the country? Thank you.
I think the essence is that every person with God-given talent and the necessary qualification should be given equal opportunity to make a difference. So ang laban kang mga kababaihan, hindi lang po laban dahil tayo ay babae. Ang laban, and we are celebrating the Women's Month, it's because we symbolize the giving of equal opportunity for every person who would like to make a difference. It's not because we're women, we are weaker, and that we cannot do anything. It's not. Perhaps I could say, just like Mr. Pañones had said, my example as a leader and becoming a president of a university doesn't make it difficult to do just because I am a woman. It is even much easier because I am a woman. I could have eye for detail. I have a nurturing nature in me. I am a mother, and in a higher education, in a university, we treat our students as if they are children. And to this, I believe, being a woman makes the presidency of a university higher. But beyond that, I would like to advocate equal opportunity for all, regardless of your gender. We must be able to respect each other and nurture and bring out the best. And I would like to say that education is the biggest stepping stone to bring out the best in everyone and bring out the potential in everyone.
From the station manager of Idol FM, Maria Victoria Gumabaw. Vicky.
Good morning, ma'am. We've been discussing about academics and other activities. This goes for the sports department. So I know that UNC is also very competitive when it comes to sports activities. So do you have additional or further plans to be one of the you're one of the best, if not the best. So any other plans for your sports programs?
Sports comes in the principle that we would like to have a holistic development of our students. And each person has different strengths. They might not excel academically, but they excel in arts and they excel in sports. But what I have seen in UNC is a lot of them excel both in academics and sports. I'd like to also inform that we are reinvigorating our investments in terms of developing our students in the many areas like basketball, volleyball, chess, badminton, swimming. And the performance of the UNC in the recent Palarong Pambansa speaks to that. Many of our students have been identified as the representative of Naga and Camarines Sur in this bigger arena of play. Yes, sports is going to be a big program as president of UNC. But I'd like to add, watching basketball, watching volleyball is very much stressful than running a university. Lalong-lalo na po kung may extension and agaw-bawi ang bola. So sabi ko, hindi ako nakakaubos ng isang tubig sa press con, but I consume at least 5 bottles of water in the duration of the play. And UNC is very good, if not excellent.
Mayra Revilla of Radyo ng Bayan.
Thank you, Sir Joel. Mama, good morning.
Good morning.
May nag-text kasi sa akin na matibay ka na talagang media personality sa Legazpi. Si Melvin. Okay, ang question ko, Dua. Primero, believe ako sa imo kasi despite the fact na nag-media ka, tapos nasa academe, paano po na mamanage ang time mo as a mother and as a wife? And the other question, I just want to solicit your opinion kung paano po may mga nangyayaring media killings nowadays. Although aron tayo ibang hapot ang kasimbagan, pero gusto ko pong makuhaan sa imong kasimbagan, ma'am. Thank you.
So first we'll begin in the first question. How do you manage? First, I'd like to say that I pursued my education. I was a working student. I was studying from 9 in the morning to around 2 in the afternoon, and then I would go to the radio station from 2 o'clock up to 11 in the evening. And then my mother would pick me up at the roadside because we live in an interior subdivision, and my mother also stayed up to 11. Looking back now, I did not feel that I was poor, but I felt that I need to have and not burden the family. I was an academic scholar, and therefore my mother, who was a widow, we were 6 in the family. I was an academic scholar, and therefore we were not paying my tuition. But the maintenance, like books, pamasahe, mas halangkaw ang pamangaipuhan kang maintenance kesa sa actual na tuition. Kaya, paraan ko para makatabang ako sa pamilya, iyon po na gamiton ko strong talent, you would call that. Art Usia, the station manager, auditioned me and asked me to work. Even up to Saturday, I was doing a Sunday program, the noontime matinee quiz show. And so I did not regard that as work because I was enjoying it. I stopped working when I was in the 4th year because I wanted to focus on my scholarship. But then another opportunity came. There was a scholarship program by the Department of Trade and Industry then, which we call the Medium and Small Scale Industry Coordinated Program, or MASICAP. And I applied for that program because in that program, it's like the OJT now. I was sent to Mindanao. I roamed the Mindanao in the late 70s when at the time there was a high conflict in conflict areas. But you know, when you're 19, you're fearless. And after my return, I was so idealistic that I did not look for a job. In fact, it was my mother and my brother who was applying the jobs for me. I got accepted in the Department of Budget and Management, and even when I was working, I was still studying. So even when I was in Manila, I was pursuing my Master in Business Administration at Ateneo de Manila University. And then I went back to Bicol in 1984 and pursued my Master in Management, and after that, I pursued my PhD. All of these when I was bearing children. So I had a child when I was doing my master, and then I had another child when I was doing my PhD. How was I able to balance the demand and I was a researcher. And you know, when you are a researcher, it's not an 8 to 5 job. I was doing my research, and research is a highly technical, and it's a writing skill, and you know how writing is. It doesn't come on an hourly basis. You wait for divine intervention and inspiration when it comes. And I am a night person. I don't write in the morning, I write in the evening. And there were days when I had to go home at 5 in the morning. The deadline for these researches was at 8 in the morning, and we send it to email at 5 in the morning. And that's the only time that I can go home. And my husband is already at the gate asking me why is it that I am coming not late but so early in the morning. But friends, I could only say that perhaps it's not really, when you pursue a career, you don't do it alone. You need a lot of support system in order for you to succeed. The support of your family. My mother was a major guiding light of what school I should go in, a school that would provide me opportunities not provided by other schools. She provided me the values that I could anchor on, especially when children are away from home. It is the beacon and value of the mother, and thinking that what would my mother want me to decide if she was beside me. And so I think the support of my husband consciously did not pursue higher positions because he said that if there will be 2 of us already in high careers, what will happen to the children? So it has to have a very critical give and take So I was pursuing my career. My husband was there to support me, and he never created any obstacle or opportunity to say no. He allowed me for me to become who I am, and I would thank the Lord that my children turned out okay. Because, you know, for a mother who is doing a high position, perhaps the children is also under pressure of high expectation. And so I am just very thankful that my children turned out okay, despite that the expectation is pegged at the name of the mother who was doing well. So I also would like to say that our path, whatever it is, have already been designed by the Lord. We simply need a lot of prayers and discernment in order for us to know and make the right choices. So if there are any young people that are listening, I see very young mothers who are still here. It is really the important role of a mother to guide our children, and at a certain point in time, create and give trust that the choices of your children are right. Trust and guidance. These are critical roles of parents in the nurturing of our children. As I said, there are also many people who pulled me up. How do you say this? As I said, dai ka po malangkaw sa sadiri mong agdanan. I believe that when you are looking for your first job, it's not the salary that is important. I believe that who will be your boss, who will nurture you and mold you, is the best criteria of accepting a job when you are just gaining experience. It should not and it should never be the money, but the people and the experience and the nurturing that these mentors will be able to give you. Steve Jobs said that you can only connect the dots looking back. And so when I look back, it is the dots represented by the people who became my mentor and coaches that helped me to be who I am today.
Thank you, ma'am. Follow-up question. Before your follow-up question, let's listen to the question of Joe De Los Santos, the station manager of Soul Broadcasting. After this, Myra, you can help.
Thank you, sir. Good morning po, ma'am. Kanina pagpasok ni Madam President, pinakikiramdaman ko sa akala ko kako taga Supreme Court yung pumasok. Pero habang pinakikinggan po namin kayo, madali po pala kayong makausap at lapitan. Well, yung boss ko po, before she died, naging produkto din sila ng UNC. And yung current management po namin, yung pumalit sa kanya is also from UNC. That's why very supportive po ang Soul Broadcasting sa UNC. Ma'am, 2 questions lang po. Kinukonsider na po ba ng UNC sa leadership po ninyo ngayon yung pagpapalit ng opening of classes? Kasi pinag-uusapan po yan ngayon. And also, ma'am, taga saan po talaga kayo? Thank you.
Yes, the University of Nueva Caceres leadership have already considered the moving of the calendar school year for school year 2019 to 2020. We have already prepared the draft school calendar, and tentatively, this is not yet official, but we will make it official. We are proposing to open on July 1. We will make the official announcement for this purpose, and for now, we are preparing the necessary documents and agenda in order to make the official announcement. As to the second question, Ako po, taga Daraga, Albay. Kaya, ang saro ko pong dapat na ukudon, ang malambing na pagtaram digdi po sa Naga. Ang mga taga-Naga po, kung dadangugon po, mabuuton kay Maray. Sa Daraga, ang samuya pong lingwahe, pabagsak. Kaya, kung nagtatararam kami, matagas. Daraga Albay, ang agum ko po, taga Pulangi, Albay.
Last two questions. Again, follow-up question from Myra, reveal of...
Killing per se should not have a place in our society. So it should not only be for the media, but for all. That is against our belief and that is against our principle.
So, gusto ko po i-acknowledge ang presence ni Mary Dawn Jimenez and Ray Bailon kang AN News. So, last question. Ali po sa muyang chairman kang KBP. Sa rupong UNC yan, na siya po dating SA kang College of Education, si Station Manager Chairman Joel Ichalose.
Morning, Madam President. Halipot sa naman po ini. Sa BU po, ma'am, based from my reliable source po, every sem po, sabi ninda, nagtataas ng tuition fee ng 50 pesos, if I'm not mistaken, from my source. Sabi ma'am. Yes. Kaya kadakon po duman ang naugma kang kamuna po so nagribay as a president po. And ugmasinda na dawa na naghali po kamo duman. Yaw na po kamo igisa sa muyang alma mater ang UNC po. Ang hapot po ma'am, sa UNC po kaya magkakaigwa man kita ning arog kaya na sistema dahil nagpaparalangkaw ang tuition fee. Ang mga parents po mas lalong ma-enjoy po ninda ang pagpapaadal sa UNC.
First, I'd like to correct that information that when I was in Bicol University, I think the first promise that I made as president is that during my administration, there will be no tuition fee increase. And so I had been president of Bicol University for 8 years, and I never increased the tuition. At that time, we only had 5,000. In UNC, I think last year they increased the tuition, and this year we have done the consultation in order to provide a reasonable increase. As I said in response to the question earlier, we need to increase the salary and compensation of our faculty and to be able to plow back the revenue for investing in the necessary requirements to deliver the programs like laboratories and facilities, including internet and Wi-Fi requirements. Unlike a public university where the cost of salaries, the cost of capital outlay is provided by government, in a private university, totally provided po iyan, hali sa suporta kang mga magurang. Kaya ang pagpadalagan po kang pribado as in ang publiko, ibang-iba. And in order to do that, we are in the process of studying the possibility of no tuition fee in any generation. So kung halimbawa po baga, ang sarong alternative is, there will be an increase only for the incoming freshman. Pero ang masunod ka iyan, dai na makaka-experience sinda ki tuition fee increase, sagkud na sinda mag-graduate. Dakulon po na mga paagi na pighihiling mi kung saan masisimbagan mi ang promesa of an affordable quality education. And I'd like to assure you that, as I said, my three components of my leadership is pursuing academic excellence and pursuing operational excellence on how we could operate in low cost but quality and high impact operation. Because no university could be able to deliver quality without the necessary funding. Kaya digdi po hinahagad ko ang dakulaon na suporta kang mga alumni. I'd like to inform that as of the moment, we are supporting like 870 scholars and providing assistance to 450 student assistants. Halik po iyan sa internally generated income kang university. Da iba po dyan ang tabang kang alumni, ang tabang kang mga parents who by themselves are also providing for scholarship. 42% of our students are coming from the network of alumni, the network of parents who are already here, relatives of students who are already here. Meaning to say that nakakamati po sindaki pagpadaba, nakakamati po sindaki marhay na kalidad kay edukasyon. And I hope that through the support of the media, the support of our alumni, help us to generate the scholarship investments. Igwa po kaming programa na pigahapot ming everybody shares. Na maski piso, maski dos. Pero kung tipunan mo po iyan, pwede tang matabangan ang sarong estudyante na maabot niya po an sa iyang pangarap sa paagi po kang kalidad na edukasyon. Barato, pero kung daiman po sinda mapasar sa licensure examination, sayang kan oras, sayang kang pigtuition. Kasubago, tinaram ko po, ang halangkaw na performance sa licensure exam, ang pinakaprimerong obstacle na kaipuhan na maigihan kan aki para ma-practice niya ang profesyon. So kung mabayad man ang gani siya kibarato, pero daiman po siya makakapasar, bako lang kwarta ang sinayang, kundi ang buhay na dinidikar niya sa 4 o 5 taon sa pag-adal. Iyan po ang samuyang tatawan ke espuerso sa UNC na magkaigwa kidakul na mga student value activities. If you would notice, in the past 1 hour, I've been speaking in English because the University of Nueva Caceres is an English immersive environment. Because in the globalization arena, English is now the language of business. Lee Kuan Yew himself said that it's okay if you will stick to other languages. But if you would like to find jobs, learn English. So programs like this are aggregated and consolidated with just one objective: to nurture your students and to nurture their dreams through education in UNC.
A final question, ali po sa Power Radio, and also gusto po i-acknowledge ang presence ni Station Manager Rubencia of Power Radio.
Good morning po, ma'am. Ang UNC po ngayon, one of the best university in the Philippines. Ma'am, kayo galing po sa BU. Paano po natin talunin ang BU ng UNC? Dahil alam namin na ang UNC 100% mga FASers sa bar, sa board. Paano natin maipapakita na mag-increase yung percentage ng UNC compared to Bicol University sa mga passers? Thank you.
Mukhang yan ang pinakamahirap na tanong. I think the competition is among students. But in terms of universities, I'd like to say that we belong to the same network and we would like to support each other. Bicol University's direction is different. They would like to, because they have a lot of investment coming from government, therefore they can go towards disciplines that are capital intensive, that requires a lot more of funding than other universities can afford. As far as the University of Nueva Caceres, we would like to pursue degree programs towards compelling careers. Whether we compete with them or not, only the performance in the licensure exam will show. But I have mentioned earlier that our performance, for example, in mechanical engineering, in the latest examination of 2018 was 94%, the highest in the entire Bicol, and even better than some universities in Manila. Kaya ang pigsasabi ko po sa mga magurang, natatairarayo panindoan sa indong mga aki, darahon sa Manila na dainindo mababantayan. Samantalang parehong kalidad kang edukasyon, ang makukuanan ninda, kaiba panindoan sa indong mga aki. Mababantayan pa po nindo sinda. If you're going to pay for 75,000 and still get past the licensure, why not come to UNC with a fraction of that cost? I think our tuition is only about 30,000, less than 30,000 per semester, depending on the cost. I mean, depending on the degree program that they are pursuing. So, at half the cost, why not with the same quality?
Thank you, ma'am. So, that's our press con. And the final message, alin po sa tuyang President, si Dr. Faye Lea Patria Lauraya.
Sa liwat po mga tugang, ako po na uugma. Kunday po ako nagdigdi sa UNC, yaon po ako dyan sa ibong. Henry was inviting me to come to DCGB and do a women's show. Ano nga ni sa title takutan? Women's Hour. We were planning to do a Women's Hour show. Kaya harani po sa puso ko sa indong profesyon. Sabi ko po kasi bago, being in the media opened up a lot of opportunities for me because it was my first job. At I think when I was 17, I was a working student and that was the opportunity that was given to me. And because of the media, a lot of opportunities came after that. So I'd like to thank everybody for coming. We would like to invite you to my investiture on March 7 and listen to the commitments that I will make as the 4th University President of the University of Nueva Caceres. I'd like the media to be an active, not just a listening, but as an active partner of the University of Nueva Caceres. Everybody needs good news. Everybody wants good news. And the University of Nueva Caceres is good news. We are a source of good news. Again, we would like to invite all the listeners and viewers. The UNC is a nurturing university for a better tomorrow for all. And when we say all, we also would like to inform that we are one of the 30 universities throughout the country that had been identified as champion for adult learning. This is the first time that the Commission on Higher Education is championing adult education in the framework of lifelong learning. Sa 2,300 na universities po sa satuyang nasyon, 30 lang ang pig-identify as champions for adult learning to pioneer program for this sector. And UNC is one of those 30. Isn't that good news? We would like to open opportunities for continuing professional education, including our in media. Just let me know kung ano po ang further knowledge that you would like to engage or to be aware of, we will offer it here in UNC. Perhaps not yet a full degree, but a short-term certificate program. That for every unit that you engage, we will also match it with with credentialing in case you would like to pursue a formal master's degree program in the field. So once again, I'd like to say thank you. This will not be the last, but this will be a continuing engagement with you. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you very much sa inyong attendance. Thank you very much sa inyong presence. Marinaga. Di ba gusto nyo
Hi guys, it's me, Kenny Alcantara. Please like and follow IMJ Interactive.
Thank you.